I'm Sonia, welcome to So NZ, coming to you all the way from little old Wellington, the capital city of New Zealand. Now this is a channel that's all about empowering you to become 110% yourself, because there is no other way to be. So in this episode, I want to give you 5 tips on how to be yourself. Number 1, accept your quirks. Accepting your quirks, that's knowing what those quirks are about yourself. And I'm not talking about bad habits here. So I'm not talking about whether or not you refuse to wash any of your dishes. That's a habit. But I'm talking about those innate personality traits about yourself, like whether you're fiery or whether you're introverted or whether you're extroverted. Or maybe you just have a funny laugh. It could be anything. There are times and places where you can use all of those things to maximize the potential of relationships or business. It could be anything. The second way to be yourself is to not suppress who you are. The moment you suppress who you are and the authentic parts of yourself, it means that you are putting layers and layers on top of who you already are, and you're kind of masking the person that's inside. People can also sense that as well. So you want to be the fullest version of yourself. If you're having a conversation, you're answering questions in a way that doesn't feel true to you because you want them to accept you. You're not being fully yourself and you're not being true to yourself in that moment. Even in my teenage years, as I was going through, trying to fit into a new school, and the minute you try to be something that you're not, you feel like you are somehow lying to yourself because you're trying to be something that you think somebody else wants you to be, but nobody else wants you to be something that you're not. They actually want you to be more yourself. And I've seen this kind of unravel in relationships and friendships. If you sense that they are kind of pushing to try and be your friend, for me that just makes me kind of step back and go, whoa, enough. But if they just relax and be themselves, then I'm like, wow, okay, who is this person? Give it to me. I want to be your friend. So it's about allowing yourself to come fully into being, because other people, yes, can sense when you're not being true to yourself. How you think and who you are is what makes you unique in this world, and to be able to express that fully is vital to knowing that you are living fully in your skin and being able to be present. If you're not yourself from moment to moment, and if you're trying to be somebody else, then it will be impossible for you to be fully present and fully engaged in a conversation, whether or not you are trying to form new relationships or make new friends or going into a work environment. I mean, just think about cats. They do their own thing. They wander off, they come back for food. Everybody loves them. Well, not everybody, but that's the way we should be thinking. Number 3, let down that guard. Drop all those masks, the layers that you can put on yourself. Just pull them away, pull the curtains, open them up, and just drop them. You will ultimately feel a sense of release. You'll probably feel more relaxed, that you can actually breathe. The minute you unleash the doors, you open the floodgates, you let people in and they get to know you, and conversely then you get to know them too. It's like those moments where you meet someone and you think to yourself for the first time, oh my gosh, I can actually be myself. You form genuine connections. People want to make genuine connections with you. That's what makes life fulfilling and interesting. And on those days, I'm sure when you have them, you walk away going, wow, I feel really good about myself and I had a really good day. You can only really have those days when you feel like you are ultimately being yourself. When you get to share moments with other people that feel really honest and genuine, they make a difference, even the smallest difference in our lives. Number 4, you'll start meeting like minds. And at that moment, that's when you'll start to feel like the stars, or maybe even the planets, are starting to align. Because nobody else has any expectations from you unless you set up the expectation. I think if we project something about ourselves and then that starts to kind of form in people's minds, then we have set that up ourselves. And if we're doing that in a way that's not genuine, then ultimately I feel like we're probably setting up a bit of a trap for ourselves, to be honest. People want to make genuine connections with you. How boring are those conversations where you know immediately that as soon as you start the conversation that it's not going anywhere, it seems really superficial, it's really boring, and you just want to walk in the other direction. I think we've all been there. Then there are people that you gravitate towards, that you can have those sort of deeper, more meaningful connections, and you'll find that you have the right kind of people gravitating towards you, people with the same interests, or you'll find out that other people might have the same interests as you, because you've ultimately let your guard down and you've let other people in. And then if other people can see who you are, then they want to know more, and then I guess it starts to have move into like a momentum of its own, and you will find that other people start to gravitate towards you, you start to get to know other people, and it kind of snowballs. And it doesn't mean that when you meet people that aren't on the same wavelength that you just completely ignore them. I mean, it's important to be a good person and to let lots of different people into your life and feed different things into your life, but all of your connections and all of the relationships and friendships that you establish will just become ultimately more meaningful. And last but not least, it's time to roll out tip number 5. If you accept yourself, other people will accept you too. And for the people who don't accept you, well, shuffle along. Or maybe they can shuffle along and you can stay where you are. If people don't accept you, then why would you want to be friends with them anyway? If you have to work really hard to try and be somebody's friend or to be in a relationship, well, why? It doesn't make any sense for any of us to go ahead and do that. A, it's too much work. Those relationships are going to always feel laboured if you have to, even from the start, have to put in so much work. I mean, relationships and friendships do require a degree of work, but if you don't have the foundational elements of there being like a natural rapport, or if you don't have things in common, then why would you want to force any of those connections? So just be yourself, accept yourself. You can adapt to different situations, but never give up on being who you are. And feeling like you have the freedom to express yourself is probably the most beautiful thing. I believe that everybody is unique and that we should all embrace our uniqueness. I think that's what makes people interesting. It's what makes the world a place where people have different ideas and different ways of seeing the world. You can be free to express yourself. You can be free to share your opinions without feeling like people are going to judge you. You can be free to be creative and to express who you are. Like, if you do that, then you might find, and if this is something that you've not really explored before, once you start to feel more yourself, you'll also start to probably express that, or feel freer to express that in how you dress, the image that you want to project into the world of who you are. Your individuality will start to come through, and you'll probably feel like you're actually starting to shine, and that's what we should all be doing. I know that's a lot to take in, but if you have anything that you want to add to that, or if you have any comments, feel free to drop those in the comment box below. Hit on the notification bell if you do want to be alerted to upcoming episodes. If there's something more you would like me to cover in this, whether or not it's about New Zealand, about being a single parent, about dating, relationships, anything, feel free to drop that in the comment box below. It's been great to catch up with you. I look forward to doing it again on So NZ. Bye for now.